Good morning. So,
Hi.
hey, for those of you who don't know, my name is Dibby Bartlett, and I'm the president of the Opticians Association of America. And this morning, I wanted to interview Kevin Silva. Kevin, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Kevin. I'm the vice president of Opticians Association of Massachusetts.
Awesome. And the reason I wanted to interview you today is because I know Massachusetts is considering a Zoom meeting for their spring educational conference. We're in a situation that, like I think almost every state association, almost everybody has a spring conference and they've all been canceled, and everybody is curious about how to reschedule and when will be safe. And so this has been your option. How did you come to the decision?
So we decided our original spring meeting was going to be in the beginning of May. So we sent out communication to our members that we were going to push it back to June. And then we quickly realized after that that the meeting probably was not going to happen in person. So the executive committee got together virtually via Zoom, and we decided that why not try a virtual spring education meeting. Everybody's meeting on Zoom. I know today I have quite a few Zoom meetings between work and Opticians Association of Massachusetts. So it just seemed like a logical try, a logical step.
So you had, did you already have Zoom, and then it's something that the organization purchased?
The organization decided to subscribe. Shortly after all this started, we quickly saw the value in paying for a membership with Zoom.
And what's your normal capacity at your spring meetings?
We typically see upwards of 300 opticians, give or take a little bit, depending on the year.
Okay.
So,
and do you know what the capacity for Zoom is for something like this?
There's different tiers. So I believe the tier that we have supports up to 150 participants at one time, but you can pay to upgrade your subscription, or you can pay just per meeting to have extra participants. So it's a very flexible platform. So if you were suspecting more people to join, it's an easy upgrade, and it's relatively inexpensive.
Great.
Yeah.
And how many courses do you usually have in your spring meeting?
So we usually have multiple tracks where go ahead. What are you going to ask?
Sorry, what are the tracks you usually have?
So we usually have a ABO track, an NCLE track, an ABO workshop, an NCLE workshop, and recently we've been starting something called OAM, Opticians Association of Massachusetts University, which is more of like beginner classes. They could be hands-on, or they can just be optics or beginner NCLE classes.
And how many tracks will you be able to do with the Zoom meeting? Just one?
We're going to focus on one track, but still offer 7 hours of education in one day. So just to keep the initial trial of a virtual meeting more simple, we're going to offer one track, and it will be a mix of ABO and NCLE for 6 to 7 hours.
Wow. So you had to work with ABO and NCLE on this?
Right, we're actually still working with ABO and NCLE, just trying to iron out the details and make sure that everything is okay and everybody agrees with how we're going to do credits and all that. So it's not 100% finalized, but it's in process.
Okay. So can you give us any idea how would the credits work? How can they guarantee that somebody is actually there?
Right. So we decided, we typically at our spring and fall meetings, we have what we call room monitors, which are there to make sure that the participants are staying in the room for the full amount of time and getting stamped and all that. So we're going to have virtual room monitors where board members from OAM are going to be watching the participants list that Zoom provides and make sure that the registered people are in the education. And for some of it, it's going to be a little bit of an honor system, and I think that's part of what we're trying to iron out with ABO. But we're going to have virtual room monitors. to see who joins and all that. Pre-register I almost said pre-register patients, pre-register opticians coming to the meeting as well. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's such a great idea, because one of the things that state associations are struggling with right now is to decide whether do they just cancel and then just wait for the fall, or do they do something? And I know our members of our state associations and opticians are concerned about their licensing requirements if they're in a licensed state, and also their requirements as far as ABO and CLE. Which is generally calendar year, but licensing requirements aren't always. So people are worried about missing it. Was that part of the reason that you decided to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. Part of that executive meeting that we had between the board members was, are we even going to have a spring meeting? And some people thought it would be best to cancel. So yeah, that was absolutely, and that probably was going to be an easier decision, right? Just to cancel everything and not do it. But we felt like as an organization, we should be there for our members. Even if we can't do it in person, to try to do something virtual to support the profession. We know that people are worried about getting their credits in on time, and what a better way than the state association reaching out as a helping hand, showing that we're here to support the profession, even if we can't do it in person. So.
Absolutely, and communicating, which is great.
Yeah.
So how does the course work? Is it like this? You'll be teaching like this? Will you use PowerPoint, or?
Yeah, actually, we are trying to see if board members want to be ABO or NCLE approved to speak, and so. Our immediate past president, George Bork, and myself are both working on courses that would involve PowerPoint, videos, pictures. Zoom has great features where you can put up a whiteboard. You can have people participate by virtually raising your hand. There's a chat feature where participants can chat and communicate with the host, but it would be very much like this. The host would have the floor. And they can speak to the crowd. People can get unmuted, chime in. So it can be extremely interactive, both with video, pictures, like I said, the whiteboard if you needed to draw something out. So as close to the real thing in person as you can get.
Wow, that is so exciting. And I know you've got a little bit of experience with this because you're also an adjunct professor at the Ben Franklin Institute of Technology, opticianry program in Massachusetts.
Right.
So does it work well in the classroom?
It does. We had to go completely virtual in basically 2 weeks. So this all hit during spring break. They extended spring break 1 more week so we can prepare, and now we're completely virtual. So many of the instructors are using Zoom, and so it works great. So I have a class of about 20 students, and we're using this weekly. Just like this, I record the class and I post it up for them, and it's been great. Same thing, we encourage participation. We use the whiteboard feature built in, and it's worked great. So we're getting practice behind the scenes before the real OAM virtual spring meeting. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you decided what you will charge for your credit hour yet? Will it be the same, or is it going to be different pricing for this type of meeting?
We haven't decided on a finalized price yet. It's probably going to be a little bit different. We're going back and forth with the best value and that we can provide for our members. We haven't finalized the price, but it's going to be different. We're not providing lunch like we provide at the meetings when participants come. So there's different costs associated with it. So we're trying to factor all that in before we publish a price out to the members. So
very exciting. Well, I think our state associations are going to be excited to hear how this works and probably have some questions. This video is going to go out in our April 15th newsletter to state associations.
Great.
And we'll be having one the 15th of every month. So we might check back in with you next month to see where things are at, what your kind of registration you're getting, and also to see if people have some questions. I think I'm going to put a spot to see if they can send me questions on this, and then maybe you and I could answer them.
Sure, I'm more than happy to help any state associations out there if they're struggling or if they have any questions. I'm here to help. We can do this again next month.
Great. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you.
So appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.